There was this one time I was teaching these students, and my instructor was teaching me how to teach them. And the students came up to me and they said, Adam, I don't know if I like the way you teach. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, whenever you turn up to the club to teach, you bring 5 girls with you. I'm like, right? And he goes, it's kind of like cheating, isn't it? And I look at the student, and my instructor's there, and my instructor reminded me, I forgot I said this, and I went, no, dude, it is cheating. It's like, why wouldn't I cheat, man? Why make it hard? I come in with 5 girls. I'm going to leave one. I don't know if you guys know, I brought 3 girls with me today. That's just to come and give a talk to you guys. Appreciate it. Actually, welcome. Good luck. But that's my point, right? I travel with girls. That's what I do. I like having women around. I like female energy. They're prettier than dudes, and guys smell. No offense. It's true. So that's the point. That's how I work, and that's how I roll. So I'm analyzing these signs first. And this is the point, and I really want you guys to think about this. You go into a bar, there are probably 10 different girls you could have. Probably 10 that are all hot, right? You go into a big club, there's a lot of people, you got your choice of 10. How many of you truly want the skill set of being able to go, girl number 8, her. That's the one I want. I don't want any of the others, I'm gonna go straight for her. And you go straight up to her and get her. What's wrong with the others? They're all hot. They're just as hot as her. Maybe take 2 of the others instead. Or get the one that's nice. You know, this is the thing I always find. Whenever you're like, that one, that's the one. You go up to her, you know what you find out? You find out she's got a boyfriend. You find out it's her time of the month. You can't have sex with her then. Maybe you can. Depends what kind of person you are. Earn your Red Wings, whatever. It's a dude. I've seen that. I have seen that. I had an instructor come up to me, one of my instructors, and he said, dude, that girl's the hottest girl I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, you know it's a dude, right? And he's like, no way. Dude, that is a guy. And he goes, I thought she was hotter than my girlfriend. And I'm like, mate, A, I'm worried about you. B, no, don't do that. But that's the point. If you just pick one and you're like, yes, that one, that's the one, you run all those problems. I would much rather go into a venue, see the 10 that I want, and then be like, all right, I'll accept any of these 10. I don't mind. And then I'm going to work it. And I'm going to be, okay, which one? Which one do I like? Which one's going to work? And so in the past, I've always spoken about pre-opening. The way I'd normally do this, I'd go up and I'd speak to each girl and work it out. But over the last year, I've been analyzing these signs of attraction. I've been literally studying them as part of my body language, like the thesis I had to do for my graduating for it. And also, just for my own studies, I have found every single physical sign and even non-physical sign of attraction a girl will give to let you know if they're interested. How fucking cool is that? Do you know how much easier that makes game? I was hanging out with one of my friends who actually lives in Austin, and when I cracked it about a year ago is when I cracked it. About 6 months ago, I told him about it. And he goes, what can you do? I was like, what I can do is I can go into a bar with you, and I can just watch the girls, and I can watch you, and I can just tell you which girl you should speak to, and she'll be nice to you. And he goes, yeah, the fat, ugly one. I'm like, no, not the fat, ugly one, you idiot. I was like, first of all, 9 times out of 10, the fat, ugly one's a bitch. Let's be real. Like, first of all. I was like, why? Because she thinks you're just fucking around. You don't actually want to be with her. I was like, no, a hot girl, but I'll know. I can see it. I can just add up the signs. When I see them, I know that she's interested. You can approach that one. And so we're sitting there. There was a group of girls walk in. There was like an incredibly tall, hot hot brunette with sort of like, skimpy little skirt or whatever on. And there was 2 short blondes. And I was like, out of those 3, who would you normally approach? And he goes, I'd approach the short, frumpy one. I was like, approach the hot brunette. And he's like, why? I was like, because she's just given you 3 signs that she's interested. And he's like, no, she hasn't. I was like, yes, she has, 3 of them. Go approach her. He goes straight up to her. Bam. She's all over him. She's nice to him. She's receptive. She ignores her 2 friends. Exactly what he wanted. He comes up to me and goes, how did you know that? I'm like, because I can see the signs, dude. Literally, I have studied them. I know them. I don't have to guess anymore. I can literally just walk up to a girl who I know is somewhat attracted and go and do it. Does that sound like something you guys would like to learn? Yes. Then that's what I'm going to teach you. Hey! Cool. I like that you guys cheered with me. Okay. So, but I said we're going to get into the psychology of a bit, and we are. We're going to start with Givens. In 1978, did a study, and in that study, he analyzed and worked out that females control the beginning part of courtship, the very first part, right? And I don't mean when you approach what they do next. I mean before that. The way they control it is they give signs that they want to be approached, and they give signs that they don't want to be approached. And in his study, if a male approached before the girl consciously gave signs of attraction, the success rate was lower, even if the girl did say on paper that she would be attracted to that person. If the guy approached before she was ready to give signs that she wanted to be approached, success rate dropped. So that's the first thing. So it's actually good to get these signs first. It's good to make some kind of eye contact or to work with it first. That is a good thing to do. So, next up, Abbey in 1982 did a study. And they looked at males analyzing signs of attraction. And you know what they worked out? Men think everything is a sign of attraction. That's what they worked out, you know? Oh, she's eating pancakes. She wants the cock. Yeah? That's what they think. That's it. Oh, look, she's hanging out with her friends. She obviously wants the cock. That's it. I should just give it to her. Oh, she's locked herself inside her house and isn't picking up my phone calls anymore. She wants the cock. So that's the problem with men. And so here's what happens. We get this in our heads. It's like, oh, bam, man. Yeah, this girl obviously likes me, but she doesn't. And that starts to mess with us. And then it was Voyer and Ratner, this is the last study we're going to talk about, in 96. And they analyzed and they worked out the reason that men don't approach, this is a great study, men don't approach because they're scared of getting rejected. It's awesome, that study, right? I was like, man, who knew? It's genius. That was money well spent right there. It's like, you could just ask people. But they did study something very interesting about that. What they found was that if a male watches another male not approach, why do they think that happened? They think it was rejection? No. They think the guy just wasn't interested. Now that is fascinating. For us to assume that other men aren't worried about rejection, it shows that we're pessimistic. We believe when it's to us, if it's us not approaching, we might get rejected. But when that other dude who isn't as hot as me, when he doesn't approach, he's not worried about being rejected because he could easily get her because I can see the signs. You got it? We still see them, so he just doesn't want her. And that is massive because you know what that means? That means we have learned as we aged to avoid approaching. It's not something naturally in us. We've learned it. So I'll give you guys the example that I had. When I was in school, I was probably about, you have to bury me, the age might be wrong, say 13, 14, 15, there was this chick, and every day in school, I would look at her and I would smile, and she would smile back at me, and we'd have these signs. I think you guys are all well aware, if a girl smiles at you, it means she likes you. You guys got that, at least? Unless she's pointing and laughing. Ask my friend from Toronto. So yeah, if she's smiling at you, you've got a pretty good chance that she likes you. So me and this girl were smiling, and I decided I'm going to ask her out to the dance. We don't have proms in England, we have dances. Dances to you guys, same thing. And so I go up to the girl, and I'm like, hey, I was wondering, with my crackly voice, do you want to go to the dance? I'd love to go to the dance with you. Is that something you'd be interested in? And the girl's about to respond, but she's there with her two female friends. Did you guys ever notice in high school, the hot girl always has two female bodyguards? Is that a thing over here as well? Totally happened in my school. And the bodyguards have to speak. They're like the spokesperson. And she's like, why would she go to the dance with you? And she didn't really say no, but how can she say yes after that, right? So she didn't say anything. And you know what I learned? I learned something very important. I learned when a girl smiles at you, when she's nice to you, and she gives you attention, you know what that means?